Mute yourself. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. How old are you?
Hey, I'm 25.
Hmm. Any particular reason why you're not on camera?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a, I don't want to sound too cocky, but I'm pretty a leader in my community, so I rather not share my
Oh.
my last
So,
name, you know?
okay. So what you got? What's the question? What do we got? What are we talking about?
All right, so watching your content for quite some time now. So, my question to you, Kevin, is that I come from a Muslim family, all right, and as I said, I'm 25 years old. Um, don't really have a problem getting women, but to be honest with you, man, I just don't see any benefit in getting married, and I
Okay.
I just want to get your thoughts on what are some things I should be aware of committing to a life of being single.
Committing to a life of being single.
I mean, single as in not married, not
Well,
committing.
well, um, well, obviously, uh, no children. So whatever you do in this life, whatever you acquire, do whatever. Um, you don't pass on to your lineage, which and it depends on what you get. See, marriages. I will say, it depends greatly about what a man wants to end up being by the time he's like 60. Where do you
60?
envision yourself at 60 years old?
At 60 years old, Kevin, I envision myself as being very healthy, athletic, continuing to work hard, put in the hours, and continuing to just become better, become the best version of myself as
Work
you.
hard work hard at what? What would be your profession?
My profession is my profession is software engineering. I'm a third year computer science student.
So by 60 years old, how many hours a week would you like to be working?
Um, Never really thought about that, but I what I do know is I will be working for myself. I will have a business, um, but working never stops.
Well, working for yourself means you work harder.
Work harder, work smarter, work for myself in the gym.
But
Uh,
why? Why are you doing all of this? Why are you gonna work, keep yourself in good health? Why? What's the ultimate why of your life?
the why. So I
Yeah.
know biologically for most men, it's women. I
No,
understand
no,
that.
no, 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 no. I'm not going down that path. I'm just asking you, do you
For
know?
me,
Yeah,
for
because
me, hmm
because because you ask about marriage, and at 25 you're kind of young to be worried about marriage. But have you, outside of working and being healthy, what is your life? What is life about for you? What do you envision your life being?
legacy, Kevin. I've already left legacies in my campus and every project I've been to, involved with, and so that's my end goal is to leave a legacy, leave something where other humans can continue and
How do
continue
most
to
men?
appreciate.
Okay, at 25 years old, how do most men leave legacy?
Very good point. Yes, I through their offspring. Yes,
Right.
but I don't. This society, Kevin. Look,
I don't
like
want to. No, 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 no. Now stop. I just
okay,
asked you what your why was, and out of your mouth you said legacy. Okay, then so let me get this right. You're gonna do all of this work, keep yourself in good shape, health, blah blah. Then when you die, you expect them to name a building after you? I mean, what are they gonna do?
I mean, I expect to be the best version of myself,
When
and
you
that is what I'm
die,
fun.
when you
Hmm.
die, what are they going to do after you die? What's your
I mean,
legacy?
there's a time we'll be forgotten eventually.
Okay.
I'm here to
All
just,
right. Okay. So in other words, you didn't call to have the conversation. You already
no,
got
I
your
did.
mind
I'm
made. Okay. I
genuinely
asked
open.
you when you die,
Hmm.
who's
When I
gonna be?
die,
Yeah. What do you? I mean, are you? Okay. Let's back up. Do you plan on being in the top 1% of earners?
yes,
Okay. How much money do you think you'll have to live on in retirement?
I'm not worried about the retirement. I'm more worried about what
That's not
happens.
what I asked.
Okay. Answer to your question, at least $1 million.
At least $1 million to live on in retirement?
Yes, post 65. Yeah.
And how long do you expect to live?
This. Okay. I don't want to sound cocky, but let's just say average 75.
Uh huh. So $1 million, where are you gonna get the rest of the money you need? That's not enough.
Well, Kevin, to be frank, I'm not really concerned about the
But
money.
I don't care if you're concerned about the money, young man. Understand? Every time I ask you a question that you're not concerned about, you're not concerned because you don't know. $1 million
Okay.
to retire on? If you watch my show, that you should have known that was a trick question to begin with. I keep asking women where they're going to get their 1.8 to 2.4 million they're going to need to live on between age
Mhm.
65 to 85. A million? A million?
My field, Kevin, four or
A
five
million? I
hundred
don't give a
k.
shit about your field, man. I asked you, how much do you plan on living on? You said a million after retirement. It's not enough. $1 million at 65 to 75 is not enough to live on.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Do you understand how? Okay,
Yes.
okay. Because what you're talking is starting to sound, it's not making any sense. A man who's talking about having legacy and this and that, and software engineer, okay, you sound like you already got your mind made up, which is fine. You're young, and I give you that, but I don't think you. I think you're far too young, and you got your mind made up about things you haven't even explored yet.
I'm open to change, Kevin. I'm very open to change. I'm open
Well,
to being wrong.
I mean, you sound like you think pretty highly of yourself. That's cool, but software engineer, you come from. You're gonna own your own business. If you have $1 million to live on at age 65, unless you plan on living very much a minimalist,
Hmm. I'm sorry. I gave you a bare minimum.
it's not
But
enough.
I will
It's not a.
definitely have more.
Okay, give me. Let me give you an example. An example I give women often is all right. If you're 25 years old and you're from 25 to 65, live from 25 and you work from 25 to 65, and you make $50,000 a year, which is a hell of a lot less than a software engineer makes, right? 50 grand,
Hmm.
50
Yes.
grand, and a single woman making 50 grand a year from age 25, and she gets a cost of living raise of 3% every year. That means her 50 grand is 50 grand every year, and
Hmm.
she makes 65 to 85, and she saves $200 a month for that 40 years. When she hits 65, and if she has a license expectancy of 85, she's going to have a $750,000 shortfall in her retirement.
Yes.
My friend, if you have $1 million to live on at 65 to even 75, you're still going to have a shortfall.
Yes, Kevin. If I may correct myself, that was I will have way more. I I don't want to expose my background, but
Well, then don't
I
talk. Then if you're not going to give me real numbers, I don't
well, I
understand what
have
you want from me.
Okay. Well, I have, okay, I will repeat, the money is really not a concern. I have property worth over a
Okay.
million.
Well,
But
your
I'm more
ultimate
concerned
question is
about the
what? Why should you
lifestyle.
get married or why should you be single? What's your ultimate question? Because I'm really not. I don't understand what the question is.
Well, Kevin, I just don't, I'm getting a lot of family pressure. When are you going to get
What?
married? When are you going to get married? And I have never told anyone except for you that I truly am not going to get married. I
Then
rather.
okay, don't get married.
So, what's your perspective on
I,
living a
I
single
look.
life?
I don't live in your. Look, I'm trying not to be. I don't know you. You're being cryptic. I don't know, man. If your family is giving you a lot of pressure, is your family is where the money coming from? Is your family is the money coming from your family?
Yeah,
All right. And if your family cuts you off, then what?
I'm I'm still prepared. I still have the marketable skill sets and that are in high demand. I'm the
Uh
top
huh.
of my field. You know?
Okay. All right. Great. And then what? You work, you make money, you live, and then you get retirement age, you die.
I mean,
See,
honestly,
I don't
enjoy
understand.
life.
I don't think a lot
Enjoy
of people
life.
like that. Don't overtalk me, man.
Oh, I apologize.
I don't really don't care what you do, man. Honestly, I'm just saying, what is life to you? If life is about what it sounds like is life to you, I'm just going to work and make money and do what I do, and I not want to get married and have that pressure in the society, whatever. That's cool. But you need to figure out what life is going to be.
I feel it's about experiences. So but I don't want to commit to a woman. I don't
Okay,
want
then don't.
to.
Then don't.
Okay, and you support me in that decision.
I'm not going to argue. No. I'm not
You
going to
don't?
tell you what to. No, 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 no. I don't think. No. I'm going to tell you why. No, I think life is about people. Your life may be about experiences, fine, but in order for a single man to go through life unattached to anybody, you need to have a substantial amount of resources to hire people to pay them to do a job of family. Meaning, these countries are not set up for
Mm-hmm.
elderly for people to live by themselves. I mean, your life presumes the way you're talking presumes that you're going to be healthy until you drop dead.
Right, right.
That's not realistic now, is it?
Yes, good point.
I'm not going to sit there and tell you to commit to it. I don't know. It's not my. I don't know. But that's in general. The world is set up for families to be responsible for to shoulder the burden for elder care and end of life stuff. If you want to be a bachelor and go through that, that's cool. You better ensure you make enough money to hire home health care nurses
Mm-hmm.
and all this other kind of stuff. And if I asked you how much are you going to have to retire on, you said $1 million. I mean, let me ask you another question. At the height of your career, what do you think the most money you'll be making annually?
Over 1 million per year.
Then as long as you then you need to have people around you to help you make sound investments and everything else because whatever you're going to need, whatever apparatus or network you're going to need around you that's not family, you're going to have to pay for it. You better make sure you
Mm-hmm.
have the money and those people paid because ain't nobody coming to help any of us for free.
Right. Mm. But those people are just as trustworthy as a potential family,
Why are you
right?
trying to argue something that I'm not arguing? I don't give a
No,
shit
I'm
if
sorry,
that's
I'm
your
not.
point of view.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, they're just as trustworthy. Fine. I don't care. See, this is
No,
what I
I'm
mean. Some of
asking.
you
I'm
guys, see,
sorry.
I guess what I'm frustrated because I get a lot of you young guys, and you've got your mind made up that marriage and this and that and the relationships are so toxic. I don't give a shit if that's the way you believe. Then do it. But that's too much to be going through life worried about, well, this versus that. Okay, well, these people, you get to make up life and you get to make your rules too. You get to make stuff up. And at 25, How many relationships have you been in?
Relationships too.
What's the longest relationship you've been in?
8 months.
Are you still a virgin?
No,
How long ago was your 8 month relationship?
it it ended 4 months ago.
And how long was the relationship before that?
Before that, it was just like hookups. To be frank, it was
So, in
one
other
real
words, you're
relationship.
25 with little to no relationship experience. You're judging, you're too young to be making, you're honestly, young man, and I can understand watching YouTube and all this other content. You're too young to be worried about us. Work, get on your purpose, work, but stop trying to fix the problems and relationships of the world ba- in the future. Now, your family putting pressure on you. If you don't want to get married, don't get married. I don't care. I mean, but that's the thing. But you're 25, and life is going to be so much different 5 years from now. And when I was your age, couldn't nobody tell me nothing, especially nobody older than me. And the closer I got to 30, the more I realized I didn't know
Mhm.
shit in my 20s. That's why I don't really spend my time trying to talk to young men because I remember what I was like when I was there too. And older men didn't know anything. I knew everything.
Well, to be frank, I admire you. You're like a role model. I strive to be like you at your age.
Well,
So
I
I'm
think
not like other
life,
men.
for me, life is about people. For me, life is about relationships. For me, life is made better when you have human connections along with material possessions. For me, I don't worry about all the problems of the world. I worry about my world and what I can control and the value I deliver to others and the value I get from others. So I can be just as aware of human nature, female nature, male nature, and still chart a path. This is why I think a lot of the content creators who make a lot of this content, why do you think most of the guys who make male content are in long-term significant relationships and as they're aware as they are? I'm not talking about the young guys. I'm talking about the older guys.
Because they're at the time when they secured their woman, they were in a different period of time where the women were different, the generation were different. And those people say it that if I were a man in this generation living today, I would not get married.
Who? Who says that?
Rolo Tomasi.
Then follow Rolo.
No, I follow everyone. I'm open to hearing all sides, but
I
it's
mean,
scary. It's scary to
look.
get married.
I don't see many millionaires or billionaires who are single. And I know. And here's the thing: I don't know Rolo personally. I don't know if you're quoting him correctly or not. But I will tell you this: I judge outcomes.
Hmm.
I know most men who, especially men over 40, who are in these spaces, are in long-term relationships. Most men are in relationships. See, what I hear a lot, I
Hmm.
hear a lot of guys preaching marriage is bad and this is bad, da 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 da, da. And behind the scenes, they're in relationships, they're simping, and see that's why I think. I mean, I'm not gonna say something because I don't want to get dragged into a bunch of controversy because it ain't my world. I think I would rather be a high value man, making myself a man, and having leverage to be able to control the options in my world versus trying to set myself up to defend against an undefined foe that's a female. You can get fucked over by business partners. You
Hmm.
can get fucked over by the world. But at your 25, I wouldn't want to live so defensive and worried about stuff that's outside of my control. If I'm hearing you correctly, you've had an 8 month relationship and before that hookups. Not a lot of experience.
Right. But I've
So
read. I'm the red pill
then
aware. Before the red pill.
stop trying to figure it out and collect experiences. Get out, live your life. Don't make any babies.
Mhm. Understood. And if I may ask you one question, one last question, Kevin.
Sure.
So what is your um your philosophy on marriage? Yours, like yours as in you as an individual.
For me personally,
Yeah, yeah.
I'd get married again.
So you're open to
Yes,
getting
I've
married.
said I've been very clear on that because my first two marriages, I didn't know what I know now. I didn't know what I know now,
Mm.
and it's not a matter of money, although money does help. It's a matter of I even if I can say that's why I never talk crap about my exes. Um, when relation if relationships fail, I say the responsibility for me and my failed relationships ultimately falls on me. And
Mm-hmm.
I talk to plenty of people who make content, but are these guys single?
Mm.
Are they?
Most.
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Could you repeat the last question
Are
you
they
said?
single?
The men making content?
Most of the people who make this diehard anti-marriage, don't anti-relationship content, are they? See, it. Man, I don't want to go down that path. Me, look, I don't, I don't, I don't want to be 75 years old, 65 years old, uh, with a rotation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. I mean, just life is about relationship. That's what it comes down to. And relationships, by their very nature, are risks.
Right, right.
So, just like you put your money in the stock market, how much risk are you willing to accept? Well, it's based upon the potential outcome.
Mm.
But if you're going to deal with women, women are always going to be a risk. Don't get into more risk than you're willing to deal with. Have you ever gambled before, like poker, slot, anything, any kind of gambling?
Just lottery twice.
Okay, just you played the lottery two times, bought like two lottery tickets.
Like 200 once, and then $5 before that.
Well, that was your level of risk. There
Mm-hmm.
are people who play. There are people who gamble every day, and there are people who make their money gambling. Look, man, you are one human being. The only person you can control is you. You cannot control another human being, male or female.
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask you a question. On any continent in the world, in any time in history, in a prison, the roughest places imaginable, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the ultimate outside of death? How do they
Mm-hmm.
punish the most hardened criminals?
The society or
No, no, in
internally the.
prisons. What in prisons? What do they do for people who just continue to be rule breakers and such and so forth? And
Oh.
and the hardest of the hard, the most problematic people, how
Mm-hmm.
do they punish them?
Isolation.
Solitary. Mm-hmm. And do people
Mm.
want to go to solitary typically?
No,
Right.
no.
Why?
They need the human connection.
Thank you. We're social creatures. No matter how you like, no matter how it is, we're just born into the time we're born into. These are
Mm-hmm.
positive problems. See, we weren't born into a time of warring countries. We weren't born into a time of plague, famine, disease. I mean, the last thing we had
Mm-hmm.
was the worst. We have a world of excess. We are become
Mm-hmm.
too damn soft. We were worrying about relationships more than cold wars and I'm like, these are positive
Mm-hmm.
problems, man. These are positive problems. Now, if you're Muslim, but and if you're in
I'm
my
not religious.
okay, but now we're in the holiday season. Tomorrow, people will be get together for family holidays. But this is also the time of year where suicide and stuff spikes because people don't have
Hmm.
time to spend. How big is your family? You have many siblings?
Yeah, I have a sister, two sisters, and a brother. They're all married.
Okay, okay. Do you now? Here's the thing: not every man wants a legacy. Not every man wants. Cause some guys want to live a life of a bachelor. Do you truly want your own children? Would you like a son?
No, I don't, Kevin.
Cause
I'm
then
considering
kudos
bisexual.
to you. Then kudos to you for knowing yourself at this age. Then live life like that.
Hmm.
I have friends who are lifelong bachelors, Leonardo DiCaprio kind of thing. Then do that.
Hmm.
But the worst kind of life, and I don't want to say the worst, it's I think where we run afoul is when we try to live counter to who we are. If you truly don't really care if you have children or want like, then hey man, Leonardo DiCaprio should be your mascot. Enjoy, enjoy, brother.
Hmm.
But what did I say? Make enough money to hire long-term care nurses and cute ones at that.
Hmm.
Take the money you make and enjoy life until you transition and shuffle out that mortal coil, and then whatever is left, you just make sure it goes to where you care it goes to. And that's it. Live your life, though. I'm just saying, don't live life defensively.
Is that how most men live life defensively?
Well, I don't know how most men, but I would just say that um, being in the sector we're in, a lot of men have seen a lot of relationships go awry, and
Hmm.
um, there's a tendency to be overcorrect. But I would tell you the best part of life I would say is to know to take the to be like Morpheus and take the RP and still be walking
Hmm.
through the world like Neo real time. The rules it's still there. You just know the rules and to
Hmm.
act accordingly. That's when
Hmm.
you're on the offense. You're on the defense
Ah.
when you don't know what's going on. When you're on the offense, when you know how the
Mm.
world is, and then you still choose to interact, whether the machine world or whether you're in Zion.
Mm.
Got it?
Yes. Thank you so
Have,
much, Kevin.
have a good one, brother.